Big news from Manus and Meta today as Manus joins Meta for the next era, as you can see right here. So Manus has basically been bought by Meta. And you can see here, this was literally just announced a few hours ago. So they've said the news is out and it's big. Manus is joining Meta. The announcement is more than a headline. It's validation of our pioneering work on general AI agents, blah, blah, blah. And you can see here, the Meta have bought Manus. Hype Tune says, bro, what? This is crazy. I would agree with you. I think it is pretty crazy news, as you can see right here. And you can see a quote that actually says, joining Meta allows us to build on a stronger, more sustainable foundation without changing how Manus works or how decisions are made. We're excited about the future with Meta and Manus working together, and we will continue to iterate the product and service, blah, blah, blah. Right. And you see the official Meta announcement here. So it's been announced by both companies here. Interstellar says Manus websites are killer. I would agree, like, they're really, really good. In fact, if you want to see, and I'll show you how Manus works today if nobody's watching this, but you can see here we actually built this website with Manus and deployed it to a custom domain using Manus. And Manus like wrote the code, it coded out, designed it, create the copy. And if we actually go onto Google, and we're looking for this website or looking for my brand term, you can see here we rank #1 for that keyword, right? Above school, above YouTube, everything. So the websites and everything that Manus creates are pretty amazing. And you can see here they've said, we are excited to announce that Manus is joining Meta to bring a leading agent to billions of people. Pretty insane, and unlock opportunities for businesses across our product. Hypegen says, I love how quick you are with the news. Thank you very much, sir. And says, Manus is awesome. I use it in my products, but wow, I don't want to. I think some people, are a bit worried about it coming over to Meta. Obviously, Meta doesn't, some people don't like Meta. So you see here it says Manus has built one of the leading autonomous general purpose agents who can independently execute complex tasks like market research, coding, and data analysis. We will continue to operate and sell the Manus service as well as integrate it into our products. So, Manus and its technology for general AI agents is going to go straight into Meta, which is pretty impressive. And you can see here, Manus is already serving the daily needs of millions of users and businesses worldwide. It launched its first general AI agent earlier this year. This is the crazy thing about this, right? If you don't realize already, Manus only launched this year and it's already been bought by Meta. They've already joined with Meta. And it's like one of the biggest sort of mergers in AI this year out of the whole industry. And you can see here, blah, 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 their talent will join Meta's team to deliver general purpose agents across our consumer and business products, including Meta AI. Pretty interesting. So, I mean, obviously they're going to get a lot more users, which is very interesting. It's amazing news for them. It shows how quickly you can move in this industry and, what people are trying to do and that sort of thing. What's also interesting is some of people's takes on this as well. So, for example, you can see here, Didi says Meta just bought Manus, and it makes sense. Consumer AI apps aren't big labs, right? So you got Perplexity, 11 Labs, Lovable, etc. But Meta has no product, and this is maybe like one of the most aligned moves they can make. Now, you might be wondering, okay, like what is Manus? So just to recap here, Manus is a general purpose AI agent that launched in March 2025, only like 10 months ago. Unlike ChatGPT or Claude, where you chat back and forth, Manus actually does things autonomously. So it can open a browser, click around, fill out forms, write code, and completes multi-step tasks. So if you've never used Manus before, you can actually go to manus.lm. And they actually went viral originally. You can see the announcement here as well. But they actually went viral originally for, some of the stuff they could do. They were like one of the first technologies to come out with an AI super agent. And, for example, here we said like create a calendar event for a live stream, send an email to Julian Goldie about it. So it connects with everything inside your ecosystem as well. So, for example, like your emails and everything else. And it can automate a lot of cool tasks. So you can see actually what it does here is like it takes the top 5 news stories each day and then just creates like a Google Doc, as you can see, using this method. So it creates like a Google Doc automatically each day with the latest AI news updates, as you can see. Pretty cool. So let's talk about the insane growth story. And this is really where it gets wild, right? So just charting the growth of Manus so far, I mean, they only launched in March 2025. They hit this much by November in just 8 months, right? Well, just 10 months, right? That's one of the fastest companies to reach that sort of amount in history, right? Which is amazing. Vegas says, "Is this live? You pump out so much content, hard to keep up. Keep up with the good work. Thank you very much, sir." And then you can see where they're up to. So they processed 147 trillion tokens, created 80 million virtual computers, served millions of people around the world. Now, just to show like how powerful this is, it actually took Slack 3 years to reach a similar level. Took Slack 3 years, and Manus have done it in like 10 months. Shopify actually took 7 years, right? And Shopify is like a huge company, right? But Manus did it in 8 months. So that sort of shows you the trajectory and the insane growth story of what we're looking at here and where they're up to. They originally started as Butterfly Effect, founded in Beijing in 2022. Early backers include these guys. They moved to Singapore mid 2025. In April 2025, they hit a new benchmark. In December 2025, they were acquired by Meta, right? And so it's absolutely amazing. Now, you might be wondering, okay, why have Meta done this? You know, it's quite unusual to see something like this because Meta is, something I've covered extensively on my channel. I've actually got, if you check out the free notes from today, which is inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. If you go to this video here, you'll see like a 5-hour course on how to basically build anything with Manus, right? Along with a community of 41,700 members. But you might be wondering, okay, why have Meta done this? Like, what's in it for them? So let me walk you through, okay, why we think Meta bought them. So number one, Meta, it really has no good product at the minute, right? Like you won't see me talking about Meta on my channel or on any of my content really. And the reason for that is like Meta's products are not that good, right? Like they're great for doing Facebook ads, but in general, when it comes to AI stuff, like they're way, way behind. And so, they've got Meta AI and WhatsApp and Instagram, but it's basically just another chatbot. Whereas Manus actually gives them an actual agent that does things. So like I was saying before, like Manus, it can connect to your Google Docs, it can send emails, it can schedule tasks for you, it can build websites that actually rank on Google, it can build beautiful quizzes, it can also generate films and videos. And most people don't even know how to use this, right? So here's an example. If we pull up this is actually a vlog I automated with AI, and you just type in what you want. Now, I would never use Meta's technology for doing this sort of stuff, but I can do like a day in the life vlog of a Yeti in Manus with like a couple of clicks, right? It's pretty amazing. And so you can see how much better Manus is, and that's without the talent that Meta has, right? So imagine what's going to happen when Manus and Meta's teams combine, like the talent that you've got there. Also, Llama is falling behind. Meta's open source Llama models are perceived to be behind OpenAI's GPT-5 and Google's Gemini 3. So they do need to catch up, and this is a big move by them. On top of that, they have a lot of infrastructure. They've really been pouring a lot into data centers and chips and that sort of thing. Whereas, for example, Manus are almost way ahead of them in terms of, where they're at, as you can see. And then also the agent sort of war is heating up, right? So you've got OpenAI with Operator, you've got Google with AI agents, you've got Anthropic with Claude computer use, and Meta was really behind on agentic AI. So this kind of closes the gap very quickly. And on top of that, you can, just by seeing what Manus have achieved, right? The Manus team is talented, right? And talent is everything in AI right now. So, the 100-person Manus team is now building for Meta. And that's a bit of a game changer as well. So what happens next? Well, Manus is going to keep running as an independent product, so you can still subscribe. The team is going to stay in Singapore. The tech gets integrated into Meta's ecosystem, so probably WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Meta AI. And then the vision is likely like, just imagine asking Meta AI in WhatsApp to book you a flight or send an email or book a calendar call, etc. Right? That's what Manus can do, and that's going to be integrated in stuff like WhatsApp. And so it is a big move for all of them. Bigger picture. right? This is part of a massive trend. So 2025 has been the year AI moved from chat to do, right? And the big players. So if we look at what's been announced this year, you have Open AI with Operator, their browser agent. You have Google with various agents in Gemini. You have Anthropic with computer use capabilities in Claude. You have Microsoft, and then you also have Salesforce with enterprise AI agents, and then you have startups like Replit, Lovable, Devin, etc. Right? And look at that list. Where is Meta? It's noticeably absent from this list until now. So this acquisition really puts them in the game. Um, Consumer AI landscape. So this is where we're at, and yeah, basically, if you look at this and the valuations of other companies, I think probably they got the best deal with Manus, and that's why they went for it. Right? Big move, big move. So if you've never used Manus before, check it out. It's pretty cool. If you want to see the latest takes on it, I would check out Twitter because there's loads of people posting about it. It literally just got announced a few hours ago, so it's brand new, hot off the press. And yeah, that's basically how it goes. If you want to get the notes from today, feel free to get that inside the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments and the description. And you can see here we've got 41,700 members. We've got an amazing community of people. And also all the video notes from today, plus all these free courses, as you can see, are inside the AI Success Lab, along with all the notes from today as well. And then, if you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. Inside the AI Profit Boardroom, this is an amazing community of serious AI builders who are focused on accountability, on automating their business with AI, like sharing wins and growing and learning together, like you can see right here. So, for example, like Vladimir is creating his own MCPs, as you can see. And for example, Johan is white labeling voice agents. You've got all sorts of crazy stuff going on in here, and we're just sharing and growing and learning together. Right. Top of that, you get 4 coaching calls per week. So if you need to jump on a call, get some help from a PhD scientist trained in AI who can help you automate your business, you can do that 4 times a week. And then also inside the classroom here, we have a 6-week AI automation masterclass that takes you from a complete beginner to an expert in AI. We have all my best trainings and systems that I use inside my business for example, like AI avatar videos, newsletter automations, Twitter automations, automating your emails. We actually have tons of training inside here from Manus as well. So if you want to learn more about it, we've got a ridiculous amount of training inside there as well. And then also, if you want to get clients for your AI automation business, we actually have a full agency training course here, plus our best trainings on NA10, plus coaching call recordings, AI SEO automations, and my full 6-week roadmap on exactly how to build a YouTube channel based on what works for me. So feel free to get that link in the comments and the description. So today we're going to be talking about Claude Skills, and this is the new way to turn Claude into your personal AI employee. Now, if you haven't checked this out already, what you can actually do is you can command Claude to build skills for you. And what the amazing thing about this is you can actually, for example, just go straight into Claude, automate a task, and then if you want to repeat that as a skill, you can say to Claude, okay, turn that into a Claude skill, and then you can go back to it. If you want to see how to set this up, you just go to your settings over here, and then what you're going to do over here is you would go to capabilities. And if you scroll down here, you've got the repeatable, customizable instructions that Claude can follow in any chat. And these are the skills that you can use to enhance Claude, right? So let me give you an example of how this works. So for example, here, if I'm like, right, okay, create a skill that writes beautiful direct response copy for me, right? And then we'll say 3rd grade language, Dan Kennedy style, every sentence new line, right? And usually you would either have to prompt that out every single time or you would have to go to projects, right? Well, what we're going to do over here is actually automate it into a skill that we can call back at any time inside the chat. So we can say create a skill that writes beautiful direct response copy for me, 3rd grade language, Dan Kennedy style, every sentence new line, add a CTA to the AI Profit Boardroom throughout the copy, and then we can take a link and just create like this nice little prompt that generates copy for us, right? And once we've actually done that, we can turn it into a skill. All right. So I'm going to say, okay, topic equals, we'll put AI Profit Boardroom community offer, right? Something like that. And it will start to write out the content and the copy and then use that to generate the skills. Basil says, wow, you are so consistent. Honestly, I think that's something I've learned from, for example, like, I train Muay Thai. I've always played guitar and wrote songs, go to the gym. I think all of those things actually taught me consistency, and then I use them for YouTube as well. So thank you very much. And then Leon says, do you know any open source AI agent for free? Yeah, for sure. Check out Agent Zero. Yeah, Agent Zero is one of the best options. You can check it out on YouTube. Hype Tunes, Basil, I see you. All right, so now you can see this is beginning to write out the content, as you can see, and then it's going to start creating a skill where we can use this every single time, right? And so anytime I need to write like a promotion or an offer or some sort of copy for the AI Profit Boardroom, I've now got this beautiful skill that I can call upon at any time, which is absolutely amazing, right? Now, if you go inside the skill section here, we've actually got some example skills, right? So, for example, like canvas design, right? Co-authoring, internal comms, MCP builders, right? Slack GIF creators, theme factories, web artifacts builders, right? And you can actually enable these skills if you want to. These are just examples. The main one that you want is a skill creator skill, because then it can generate skills anytime you want to. And so if we go back to your skills here, you can see, for example, I've got this advisor help one, right? And if we have a look at this, we can make sure that it's switched off or switch it on. We can see when it was added. We can try it in the chat here. So if we actually click on try and chat, and you can see here it creates a prompt. It says, hey, Claude, I just added the advisor help skill. Can you make something amazing with it? Right. And then if you plug this in, it will actually start calling out that skill that we just created with Claude. And so the cool thing about this is, like, I don't have to go into projects every time I want to automate something, So for example, like live stream notes, I used to have to go into the project, click through, find it, etc. Whereas now I can just go into the chat and be like, use a live stream skill, create some notes on blah, 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 right? And that's pretty cool. So it saves a lot of time, and it just makes Claude like way more powerful. Plus, it helps you avoid like creating the same prompts or using the same messages inside Claude over and over and over again, right? And then also, if you ever need to edit them, well, no problem. You can just go to the settings over here, and then you can go to the capability section, and inside here you've got the memory from all your chats. We also got the skill section here, so you can add in 3 different ways. So you can upload a skill, and this is actually where you can upload a skill that's been pre-created as a skill file. You can write skill instructions, which just makes it easy to create skills that are easy to describe. Or you can actually go to create with Claude, and you can actually create a new skill through conversation. And there are actually marketplaces with skills that you can actually add. Now, if we have a look, for example, here, we've got Skill MD, and then you can see here that we've got all the content from the skill, as you can see, right? Pretty simple and easy to use. And then it's actually got some example prompts. It's trained the AI on exactly how to write it. Plus, it's got final checklist for before delivering the copy, right? So each time Claude writes a copy, it's got a checklist that it can work through that shows it exactly how to fix a copy and make sure it's correct before submitting it to me. So it's kind of like having AI employees. Now, you can also call multiple skills together. So you could have like a team of Claude Skills employees that work together. But the amazing thing here is, like, it's way more customizable. And also the thing is, who else is doing this, right? Google Gemini is not doing this. ChatGPT is not doing this. Claude is like the only one. So it adds another unique element to Claude that you won't find anywhere else. So for me, like, Claude is just getting better and better. Claude Skills is absolutely amazing. This really does change everything about how you use AI inside your business. So let me talk you through a framework that I've actually created to start using this stuff. So if we go inside this Claude Skills tutorial, I've actually got all the links to everything from today. And if you're wondering, okay, like, are there any marketplaces or that sort of thing? for Claude Skills, where you can actually go to skillsmp.com. And inside skillsmp.com, this is basically an agent skills marketplace, right? And so you can actually download skills from here and then import them directly into Claude, which is pretty awesome as well. And then, what we're going to be showing you today is a golden skill framework. And this is my 5-step system for building AI employees that actually work. And this is the exact framework we use at Goldie Agency to train AI on what our workflows, and the same system we use with our team members, right? And, it works because it's simple. It's like counting macros for your AI. You just track the inputs and you get the outputs you want. So, what makes Claude wake up and start using your skill? Well, this is the name and the description in your skill MD file. It's kind of like your morning alarm. So you set the trigger and this action can happen automatically, right? So for example, if you say apply brand guidelines, well, you could have a skill that loads your brand skill. If you said, for example, create a client report, Claude could load your reporting skill. If you said write an SEO blog post, well, Claude could be using your content skill, right? So for me, for example, I just created that copywriting skill. Every time I create a piece of copy and I say write a sales page for this or an email for that, then it can load my copywriting skill. And so this description is the most important part. So you want to write it from Claude's perspective and just be specific about when you use it. Now, skill instructions is stage number 2. So what should Claude actually do? And this is basically the body, right? So it's like training a new team member on the first day. The difference is that with Claude, it doesn't forget the instructions. With employees, sometimes it can. We all know that, right? And so step number 3 is like give skill examples. So show Claude what good looks like. You can actually load in examples. I actually do this on my projects. So for example, if we go to projects here, and then we're going to go to greatest hits rewriter, I actually give it examples of successful tweets from me, right? So I actually load in a bunch of examples here, like you can see right here. And then it has examples of how to write better based on what's worked before, based on the data. And then it has templates you can follow. And so you don't just explain the technique, you show it, you practice it, and then it becomes automatically. Now let's talk about skill assets, which is stage number 4. So, you could include, for example, brand logos, color palettes, style guides, data templates, reference documents, etc. And then the final step is skill testing. So just test that skill. Does it actually work? Test it with different prompts, etc. Right? So if we go to a new chat over here, and we'll say use the copywriting skill to write a sales page for the AI profit board, right? And then what it should do, I might have to change it to like direct response skill. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, it's reading the skill now, which is good. So it's reading the copywriting skill to understand best practices for sales page creation. And then it will actually create the sales page and automate it in a minute, right? And it's using that right here. And so you can test it, refine the instructions, version control your improvements, and then, I would say this is probably where most people give up. But, if it doesn't work perfectly, don't quit. Like winners iterate, be patient with the outputs, impatient with the inputs. So I've actually created a Claude Skills example that I'm going to run through, and let's see what it's called. We go to settings here just to make sure. You want to make sure you actually get the right name of it. So, for example, if we're like, okay, use the advisor help skills section, go to Claude AI here, new chat, use the advisor help section to help me fix my offer for the AI profit order. And then it will actually start using the advisor help skill to really understand how to optimize that, right? And so week 1 is a foundation. I've actually created a 30-day skills plan for using Claude Skills to go from like 0 to AI powered business in just 30 days. And it runs you through step by step exactly what to do each day to get the results, right? So you can, for example, like explore the skills directories. I've given you prompts for every single day that can help you use this stuff. And then it will show you exactly how to use Claude Skills to really get great results, right? And this is an implementation plan for 30 days. So it shows you exactly how to get results and what to do every single day to really nail that in. Now, if we go back to Claude here, as you can see, it says, right, define your 2 personas. So I'm just going to copy these. And then for the offer, I'll plug this in from the AI Profit Boardroom. So we'll take that. And this is quite a complex skill. It's actually one that a member inside the AI Profit Boardroom, Karen, recommended, and basically allows you to debate like ways to improve, kind of like a board of directors for your business, right? And so you can see here it has two primary advisors, and they kind of debate out how to improve this stuff, right? So we're going to say sounds good. And then what I'll actually do is have like two different personas debate what I need to improve inside my business, right? So for now, for example, it's using Alex Hormozy, and it's like, right, let me be direct with you, but here's what to improve, right? Here's the problems, etc. Right, and then it gives me an action plan, and then the next persona will actually debate that, so that we have like a kind of board of directors as AI personas who really debate out everything. And then it says, shall I bring in Sabri to tear this apart and pressure test the copy angles? I'm going to say yes. And then, we can have two AIs debate with each other, right? And I'm just kind of watching and learning. So it's pretty cool. Now, some people want to say I need to be technical to use AI automation, but, skills are just folders with plain English instructions, right? So here's what's nobody's, telling you about Claude Skills. It's like the file that powers everything is called skill.md. It's literally just a text file, right? You write instructions like you're explaining something to a smart friend. So no Python, no JavaScript, no APIs, no coding bootcamp required. If you can write a Google Doc, you can create a Claude skill. And the technical barrier is a myth created by people who just want to sell you complicated solutions, right? The truth is simpler, and simpler always wins. Top of that, some people say, well, my AI forgets stuff. Well, the thing is that Skills helps you remember your workflows forever. And this was kind of like the most frustrating thing about AI before Skills was like you'd spend 20 minutes explaining your brand, your tone, your process, your preferences, get a great output, close the chat, and then the next day you have to start from scratch again. But this is like having a team member who can't remember anything, right? Whereas Skills fixes this permanently. So you teach Claude once, it remembers it forever, like you can see over here, right? So for example, if we go to Claude, all I said was use the advisor help skill to help me fix my offer, and then it just went off and did it, right? I didn't have to really train it again. So every future conversation starts with that knowledge loaded, and that's like the difference between hiring a new temp every day versus having a trained employee who knows your systems. So you don't have to repeat yourself, you don't have to waste the context, you just get results, right? And so there's so many cool things you can do with this. Some people say, well, automation like this takes months to set up. You can create a working skill in under 10 minutes, like I've shown you, right? We've proven it to you live today. You've seen how quickly you can do this stuff, and you can build it from scratch, right? And the process is just describe what you want. That takes 2 minutes. Claude creates a skill MD. That takes 1 minute. You download the zip, upload the settings, test it. You don't even have to do these 3 stages, honestly, unless you're importing something in. Otherwise, it will just take 3 minutes because you describe what you want, Claude creates a skill and then adds it to the settings automatically. And then you have an automation that works forever. So the automation takes a month story. Well, that was true for old school automation, like building complex Zapier workflows or writing custom code or connecting APIs. But Claude Skills basically skips all of that, which is pretty cool. Some people as well will say, well, I need to wait until I understand everything. But, you do learn by doing, not by waiting. Like I didn't learn Muay Thai by reading books. I learned by just, training relentlessly, making mistakes, improving. It's the same with AI. Like the people who win aren't the ones who understand everything. They're the ones who start. So you can just build a simple skill today. It won't be perfect, and that's okay, right? Perfect is the enemy of done. And done is a friend of learning. So start messy, improve daily. That is the path. All right. So thanks so much for watching. What I've actually done, as you'll see right here, is I've created a list of all the resources that you can use to get results with this stuff. I've created a custom framework that you can follow to create Claude skills and basically automate anything. I've also given you a 30-day domination plan that you can use to really implement this inside your business and go from like, I don't know how to use this to getting amazing results. And then also I've run through all the limiting beliefs that might be holding you back from using this stuff. And then finally, what I've actually done is included a list of over 100 skills prompts that you could use to generate really good outputs from this and save skills and load them into your Claude, right? So, for example, like brand and content skills, or for example, like email and communication skills. I've given you a list of business and operation skills that you can load in, SEO marketing skills, etc. Like everything you need to really get results with this stuff. So, feel free to get that link in the comments description to the AI Success Lab. It is completely free, and there's 41,700 members, an amazing community that you can get help and support in. And then also, if you go to the classroom here, and then this section, you can actually get all the resources from today. And if you haven't already, but you're serious about AI, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is a community where we're focused on one thing, which is learning and growing together with AI. And it's an amazing community where you can learn everything you need to really get results with AI and really improve. So if you haven't checked this out already, basically what you get is 4 coaching calls per week. So you can jump on the live calls, get help, get support whenever you need it. On top of that, you get an amazing community and an accountability group. So we actually have a daily accountability group where everyone posts their goals, shares and learns together. And then you can post inside the community, get help, get support. And I personally answer the questions with you, as you can see. And then also you can post your wins and share and learn and grow together, which is what you can see everyone's doing right here. So it's pretty awesome. And then if you have any questions, you can ask them too. You can also use this as an archive, right? So for example, if you wanted to learn about Manus, for example, well, you can type in Manus here. If you wanted to learn about Claude, well, you can type in Claude here, and you actually get access to all the previous community posts about Claude, plus our classroom tutorials that show you anything you need. So if you're like, okay, I want to learn about MCP, well, you just type in Claude MCP here, and then it will show you everything you need to learn about that stuff. So feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom link in the comments and description, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers for watching. Bye-bye.